Café Anyway. Welcome to Café Anyway.
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 3241. 3241. That's a lot of episodes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's Mike Matthews here at Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth, the land of Meritopia. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but so the world is an interesting place and lots of things to talk about. We're broadcasting from Café Anyway all over the place. Did you know that the band called, the one that sang
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The Hook Will Bring You Back and Run Around, those guys, the Blues Traveler.
Mike's
Blues Traveler
Daily
had a song called
Podcast.
But Anyway.
Yeah.
And we're at Café Anyway. Huh? Coincidence? How interesting, right? Question mark, correct? Question mark? N'est-ce pas? Question mark. I wish for all of us that we would stop saying right all the time and say n'est-ce pas. Because then that kind of reminds me of Nestle, and I want to eat chocolate then. Or have some of their delicious, what are the coffee drinks they make? The Nespresso that are way overpriced. You know what, though? Despite all of that, with all the retail stores, I don't know, there used to be this awesome Nespresso store in San Francisco. I would catch Bart, go into the city, get out at Union Square, walk up the streets there, through the streets, the cavernous, huge buildings, old buildings and whatnot of San Francisco, ancient history of California, fantastic, and all the murder and everything else, and the gunfights and whatnot, and the cowboys and everything. And I'm walking down the street in Haight-Ashbury and everything in the 60s and all that crazy stuff. And then I'm walking up the street, there is a Nespresso. It's like a cafe on top, and you go downstairs, and they got all these Nespresso machines. And I talked to one of the people down there, and they told me, oh yeah, Robin Williams used to come down here. And they give you these free samples of different Nespresso drinks.
And here's today's podcast picture.
That's probably long gone by now, because apparently U.S. retail stores featured a lot of closures last year. The podcast picture, I should have made it the Nespresso place I used to go to. Instead, this is a perfect picture of my lovely lady friend and I, and Rocky the cat. See us there, mikesdailypodcast.com. All the past podcast pictures are there. And if you want to watch the video of this, there's a link to it. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com, as well as pictures of the late great Basil the Boxer. There he is, jumping up and down, ready for you to throw the stick. Throw the stick. Stick, Basil, stick. You chase after it. It's great. Yes, so see those pictures at mikesdailypodcast.com, and the video will be up for about a week and then it disappears. But something like 8,000 plus retail stores in the U.S. closed in 2025. That was a percentage up from the year previous, up by 12%. Other closures included, what? Forever 21 closed? Joann's, oh gosh. Well, I'm a guy. Why would I go into Joann's? Well, I would go in because I'd be with the female I was with would want to go into Joann's. But actually, Joann's is more, wasn't that more clothing for older?
This show is clean.
Older folks? Joann. Or no, was that Crafts? I don't know. There's Michael's. I know that's named after me. No, it's not. But I see Michael's and I go, oh, do I own that? No, I should. I'd be stinking rich, but no. Joann, gone. Rite Aid, gone. We had a huge Rite Aid in podCastro Valley. It closed, and it got replaced by this huge Asian food store. It's groceries and all kinds of things that you would not find in a typical store. Plus, right next door is a restaurant that is huge. Woo! And they've got delicious Asian food there, and they've taken over the entire space, whereas Rite Aid would be this big cavernous drugstore type whatever you need. I remember I bought bug spray there, or not bug spray, but like insect repellent, because there were ants coming into the house, and I found this very toxic stuff that would just kill any ants on contact, and that was there in the Rite Aid. And of course, the ice cream that's shaped like a weird square cylindrical thing.
Mike is on it, man.
Man go where no man has gone.
Square cylinder. Party City also closed. There was a Party City in Podcaster Valley, but I guess nationally too. And that's gone, and now it's a dollar store. And all those dollar discount places got really big towards the end of last year. Their stock started going up. But we said goodbye to Forever 21, Joanne, Rite Aid, Party City. And I'm happy to see that cavernous space, and there was even parts of a parking lot there when it was still Rite Aid that weren't even being used. They fenced it off. Now all that's open up. They're using all the parking spaces. It's going to good use.
Like they got an area where you can get specialty burgers. They got an area where you can get chicken. They got an area where you can get all this food and
all this stuff.
You've never seen anything like it in your life.
It's magnificent, is what that guy is saying about Café Anyway.
I got through that. I got into it.
Good job. Yes, so they all shuttered their brick and mortar locations for good. Forever 21, Joanne, Rite Aid, and Party City. As high inflation and operating costs bit into profits and consumers shopping from the comfort of their homes. People are shopping from the comfort of their homes. Sadly, for 2026, this year won't be any friendlier to the retail stores this year. So probably in a year from now, we'll have a more people to add to the list of closures of retail stores. And it was weird because all of a sudden one day you had Amazon opening up brick and mortar places. But I don't know if that's still going on. And Netflix, too. They had some brick and mortar type things. But Larry Page is not with either. He's with Google. He says, goodbye, California. The Google co-founder has moved several of his business ventures.
Sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
I don't know if he wears stretchy pants, but he's moved several of his business ventures and his family office out of California as we go outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. Broadcasting from Café Anyway. He is now incorporating in Delaware and Florida instead of California. If California approves the billionaire tax this year, there is a lot more expected to follow and say, anyway, bye, California. That includes NVIDIA's wealth. Well, with Wang, NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang said he is perfectly fine with a move by Californians to force a vote on a special tax on billionaires. He's okay with it. But many other billionaires are getting out. But people have been leaving California for a long time. As you can see, Elon Musk took off and went to Austin. Although he still has a lot of Tesla places here in California, in the Bay Area. I don't know.
This is Mike's Podcast Picnic.
I have brought you a picnic. Outside of Café Anyway, I brought you some lobster. Or maybe it's fake lobster, I don't know. But there was a $400,000 lobster heist a few weeks ago. A full truckload, 40,000 pounds of lobster meat vanished after being picked up from a Massachusetts cold storage facility. It was heading to where else but Costco. It was heading to Costco warehouses in Illinois and Minnesota. The FBI was put on the investigation.
You know, I mean, people get stuck on stupid. You know
they
what I mean?
do trying to steal $400,000 of lobster. It's part of a larger organized crime pattern, according to the FBI. And maybe this is also a crime. Buy now, pay later. It is now hitting a $20 billion milestone. Usage of the flexible payment method hit an all-time high just a few weeks ago during the holiday season, contributing $20 billion in online spending. That is up almost 10% year over year from 2024 and representing $1.8 billion more than last season. And smartphones are the factor of the thing that people are using. They're leveraging.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
They're using their flexible payment method for smartphones. predominantly, driving the vast majority. Of the buy now, pay later purchases, 83% was for smartphones. And yes, I know I had to get a smartphone in November. Lost a lot of pictures that I had been taking since June of this year. Lost a whole bunch. The only ones that survived were the ones that made it to mikesdailypodcast.com as podcast pictures. So I'm thankful for podcast pictures and this podcast for that. And, doing a podcast... Oh, but I had to get a new phone, and they did offer the buy now, pay later thing.
Okay, last question.
Uh-huh.
Can you please tell me that I'm pretty?
Well, maybe later. Buy now, pay later. And they did offer that, but yeah, I lost a lot of pictures. And I got this new smartphone, and I got to get... Oh, it is backing up. That's right. I found a cloud to back it up to, an Amazon cloud thing, because I don't want to do the Google thing. They got too much of my information as it is. As I am at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com if you want to email me. But perhaps... with all the spending that we did and going into debt and all the buy now, pay later stuff and all this information I got from Rob Black, I produce his podcast. He's heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekdays at 5 p.m. and that's in the Bay Area, and he's on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 a.m. hour. Magnifying all of the spending. Now people are returning stuff. Consumers are now hitting the stores to return their purchases. Consumers spent about $258 billion online. That jumped up almost 7% from the previous year. And that is a new record for e-commerce. Returns have spiked 5% compared to the previous year. And they're expected to amount to about 16% of all sales. That comes out to about $850 billion. The explosion of online shopping since the pandemic has created a lot of online returns. And the online return rate is even higher, amounting to as much as 20%. Oh, wow, I just got distracted by a flying saucer. One of the purchases I made online was of a cat taking a picture, a selfie picture, and there's a UFO behind him, and he's getting freaked out. For some reason, there are a lot of t-shirts with this image on there, and a young person saw this picture, and he said to me, "Oh, that's an AI photo." And I'm like, good. I'm glad you're being savvy with the AI stuff, because a lot of people are being taken in. But I think overall, depending on the age group, I think older folks get fooled faster, more easily by AI stuff. But I think the young folks are savvy to it, which is good. I think they need to be, because it's taking over everything. There was a recent Stephen Colbert cartoon that had, what's his name? Nick Offerman narrating it. And it's a goofy story about, there's no love lost between Stephen and Trump. Even though Stephen Colbert at one point was acting like he was right-wing. Remember
annoying parents and teachers everywhere.
Oh, no, not this.
6, 7!
Why don't you shut up in the next 6 or 7 seconds, dude?
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with these kids? I mean, I thought RFK Jr. was supposed to be curing autism.
Yeah.
Not making it worse.
Don't take the Tylenol. And 7s. Thank you, Tears for Fears. That's a great song. Even though that didn't feature Kurt Smith, that was just Roland Orzabal. But 6s and 7s and all that happened last year. But Stephen Colbert didn't put any of that, did he? Oh, yeah, he did put some of that into his... I think he had like a little Mark Zuckerberg making that stupid hand gesture. But it was a thing about Trump taking over the North Pole and all that. And at the very end of the cartoon, it was very funny, there was a thing that said no AI involved in making this. So that's maybe going to be a bigger thing, a revolt against AI this year in 2026. But 56% of purchases, a little over half, was multiple sizes or colors, some of which are sent back, and it's a practice known as bracketing. So you buy way more, and then you return what you don't want. Pretty much. And just the different sizes and colors, that's too big or too small or whatever. Then about 70% admit to wardrobing or buying an item for a specific event and then returning it. So they just used it for one event, a party, a wedding, wardrobing, and then returned it. Almost 70%. And then 72% of all merchants, they have begun charging a return or a restocking fee to try and limit the returns and try and return to get rid of the return options that, it's everything. Oh, I can just return it if I want. Yeah, they're getting rid of that option. They're saying, nope, you've abused it. Too bad. I just finished watching on Netflix. This has nothing to do with returns, but we just finished watching His and Hers. And it has one of those endings that's like The Usual Suspects. Wow. Or The Sixth Sense. Or Beautiful Mind, where what you thought was happening was actually you were being misled. So it's one of those. And if you reveal the ending, I know there was some comedian that went through and revealed all these shocking twist endings that had been in all these different movies. He just ran down the list of what the actual ending that spoiled it. He gave out a bunch of spoilers. And I don't think that comedian's alive anymore. Nobody likes that. I don't even remember who it was. But did he like pizza? That's the question. Or is it maybe just something I just threw out there? Because Americans still eat a lot of pizza. Pizza chains generated about $31 billion in sales 2 years ago. On any given day, around 1 in 10 Americans will be eating a pizza. Once the second most common U.S. restaurant food or restaurant type, of all the types of restaurants, it was the second most common pizza places, a pizza joint. Oh, and that's fat Taylor Swift, and that's that one I don't understand. She got fat from eating too many pizzas. Oh gosh, I knew somebody. So with all these drug type, these GLP-1 type drugs that people are taking to lose weight, which 20 years ago, the thing people were doing, because we didn't have those drugs yet, they were getting their stomach stapled or shrunk or get the lap band or get the surgery, whatever it was, to make the stomach smaller. You're supposed to eat healthier foods. And I knew somebody that went through that surgery and she ate nothing but pizza. Pizza, Doritos. I need to eat something and I can't eat it. This is my one meal of the day. I'll eat a pizza. Okay. She got so unhealthy. Despite having the stomach shrinkage surgery, she still gained weight. Oh, I think she's still alive. I lost touch with her, but I hope she changed her ways and started eating more healthy things. But yes, pizzerias are now, they've fallen from number 2 to number 6. They are outnumbered now.
Should the government be allowed to regulate which podcasts the cell phone companies and Wi-Fi providers are allowed to let you download to make sure they serve the public interest? Do you think that sounds crazy?
You know what? I think you used the word download, which many people don't even know what that means. They just know they listen to podcasts and they press play. They don't know anything about downloading, whatever that is. But so now pizzerias are being beaten by coffee shops and Mexican food restaurants. Taquerias. Woo! Pyology Pizzeria. Remember all those? In fact, I still have I had a coupon for buy one, get one free that I just chucked into the trash, the recycle bin, because it was made out of paper. And we want to try and recycle best we can. It filed, Pyology Pizzeria, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection recently. Hey, is Mob Pizza still around? They're basically the same thing where you make your own pizza. You walk through the line and make... They seem to be around still in podCastro Valley. Pizza shops are engaged in price wars with one another. And also right now, DoorDash and Uber Eats have put a wider range of cuisines and options at Americans' fingertips. So Americans not necessarily wanting pizza. But Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and the parent company of Papa Murphy's. Magnum. What is with it, all this Papa stuff with pizza? Papa Pizza. That's what my new restaurant's going to be called. Because just everybody associates Papa with pizza. Papa John's, Papa Murphy's. One of those I know doesn't actually cook the pizza. You take it home and cook it. It's like, okay, I'm paying this much for a pizza. You cook it. I don't know. Some people really love it, and they just kill so many trees and mail those mailers they send to everybody. All these Papa Murphy, Papa John ads they have. Wow. And they're all considering selling all these pizza places. They're going to sell up because it's just not the way it used to be. Okay. All that's fascinating, isn't it? Look who's here. Oh my God, it's Madame Rootabega. I love pizza. Ooh. Do you also love other cuisines? Yes. Do you love the word cuisine? Yes. Do you sometimes say it cuisine? No. Okay, good. Look who else is here. Hello, Dave Mike. This is Valentino the Burger. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, we once had a pizza together, and it turned out I got one slice, and Bison ate the rest. Yeah, I'm a pig. Do you know that? Guys, you know what? If you're over 50 like I am, there are some foods you should eat less of. I'm sure pizza is one of them. But according to the folks at Eating Well, turning 50 is a great time to start making healthier food choices.
It's like a Walmart-sized convenience store and gas pumps.
Wow.
There's probably 150 gas pumps.
Whoa.
At Café Anyway.
They're monstrous.
Café Anyway.
They're monstrous.
All of this stuff.
You go in. They're massive.
They're massive.
World famous.
World famous Café Anyway. So, turning 50, great time to start making healthier food choices to support aging. Though you forget that you're aging all through the years until you hit 50. Though no food is completely off limits, you should keep fried foods that are full of sugar, foods that are full of salt, and foods that are just completely refined, completely processed. Make those just occasional treats. And you should try to eat more fiber. Fiber is not just the bran muffin. Whenever I heard fiber, I used to just think bran muffins. Nope, it's all kinds of that. Carrots, types of beans, types of grains, and all these vegetables that have fiber in it. You need that. Also, lean protein, so the ones without the bad fats. You want the healthy fats like avocado, like the stuff you find in salmon. Like what's about the other thing? Mackerel, sardines, and certain nuts. I think walnuts, almonds, all got the good stuff. But avocado, for sure, have the healthy fats. And flaxseed. And certain fish, like the sardines, mackerel, and salmon. And that is all. And
well, I have a microphone.
Yes.
And you don't.
I don't.
So you will listen to every word I have to say.
Actually, I do have a microphone. That's how the people listening, if there is people or are people, maybe there's one person listening, that's how they're able to hear me. But you should also look for colorful produce. So not just everything green, but maybe a little green, a little yellow, a little red. Mix it up. Purple, very good with the antioxidants. Prioritizing your health is important at any age, but if you've been putting healthy habits on the back burner, turning 50 should nudge you along to not eat deep fried foods, to not drink sugar-sweetened beverages, to stay away from salty foods, stay away from refined breads, whether it's peanut butter and jelly. Oh, I love that. But the type of bread you should choose can play a meaningful role in how you are aging in a healthy way. Most packaged bread is high in refined carbs and low in fiber, which can spike your blood sugar. The big swings in blood sugar over time can increase the risk of insulin resistance, which is linked to poor brain health and cognitive impairment. So you can make a big difference. When you buy bread, look for whole grain varieties with at least 4 grams of fiber per slice. That's the magic number, 4 grams. Whole grains can take longer to digest, and that's good, helping to provide steady energy and keeping your blood...
Take it out, take it out, take it!
Keeping the blood sugar, not make it take out, but to keep it stable. That made no sense at all. But extra fiber boost is good for you. I guess the fiber helps take things out of you that are bad. Also avoid alcohol as much as you can. Yes, sorry, my friend that works at a beer place that makes beer. I guess they call that a brewery. Eat the rainbow. Inflammation. If only eating the rainbow would keep away inflation, but instead it keeps away inflammation. It plays a role in many chronic diseases, from heart disease to dementia. One of the most effective ways to combat it is by including plenty of antioxidant-rich foods in your diet. So the good rule of thumb is to eat a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables, and they have different inflammation-fighting phytochemicals. So you want to try and have a lot of antioxidant-rich dinners. Have lean protein, stock up on beans, and you could snack on nuts, but not the ones with the salt added. Just you want to regular walnuts or regular almonds, but not the ones that are full of the roasted stuff. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? What do you think about that? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Oh my gosh!
MTV News. You hear it first.
This is Kurt Loder, and I'm out of a job. Oh, Kurt Loder. I missed those MTV News things. I used to always watch that. That was great. Remember when Prince did the song Pop Life? And then the next single that got really big after that was Kiss. Don't have to be. And he starts off the song. I was just thinking about this today. He starts off the song with a, remember that? And it has no bass line. Everybody's like, Prince never used bass lines. No, he used a bass line in Pop Life, but in Kiss, he didn't. Instead, it was the bass drum. They overamped. I forget, they did some kind of drum machine thing, but processed it in a weird way. It's all in Wikipedia how they did it. But what was fascinating to me about the song Kiss is how he starts off with and there was a song by the Eurythmics that got popular. It wasn't as big as Sweet Dreams Are Made of This or Here Comes the Rain Again. Maybe it was called Thorn, something with the thorn. It also started off with Annie Lennox kind of going, so I don't know why that was a thing. If one musician was copying the other musician or what, but I'd have to have Annie Lennox on because sadly I can't have Prince on the show. We did have a great musician on recently, Kai Alfred Hillig. Go back and listen to that show. That was on a recent podcast, the one called Costumes. We did not do a podcast, by the way, on Monday. Perhaps you caught it because we are observing MLK Jr. Day, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday observance day. But there is a podcast. We try to do the podcasts every working day. We don't necessarily do it on holidays or weekends or on scary holidays coming up.
You know, there's a real scary holiday coming up.
Would that be St. Patrick's Day? Oh, alcohol. I'm over 50. I'm supposed to avoid it. Even the drinks that are with the food coloring that makes it look green. Food colorings. I've heard all kinds of things that you have to avoid food coloring as best you can. In fact, weren't there because of RFK Jr., a bunch of companies are going to stop using food coloring in their foods because of the toxic implications? Well, with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Thank you so much for listening.
Things to do.
Thanks again. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.